All right. You ready, brother?
I'm ready.
Ready as always. Hey, everybody, it's Kevin Perkins here from the Social Nostra. Man, today's show is awesome. I'm sitting with the slippery Surfa. What's up, bro?
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm
Shred
doing
gang.
pretty good. Thanks for coming on. And before we get to slippery here, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all those good things. Social Nostra is growing quite a bit lately, and so we just want to keep that momentum going. So anyways, back to you, man. So I was on Instagram and I came across your profile and I was like, I gotta talk to him. Tell everybody kind of like what you're doing right now. Like tell everybody what Slippery Surfer's about and kind of we'll get into your background.
Yeah, so I'm just putting out a lot of music at the moment. It's all surf related, hip hop, rap. Yeah, man, just I make all my tunes in this studio where I am right now, and my producer's over there in America actually. I'm a surfer, so my background's surfing. My producer actually used to ride a bodyboard, so you know what I mean? So the music's like totally on point with surf language and the whole surf culture, really.
Yeah, that's what got me. I mean, because like it's one thing, you hear rapping, whatever, but then I was listening, like everything you were rapping about was like you wouldn't have to know, like if you were a surfer, you would know exactly what you were talking about, bro. It was really cool to hear how you were doing this. And not only that, but the music and your raps, they're pretty good.
Slip rep the beach, kooky from the city. I'm the king of surf trap. You a washed up hippie. You ain't a surfer, dude. Homie, you a kook. You need a Malibu, wax you like I'm seal tooth. Careers in limbo, better call up Cisco. This ain't surf trap. This kook do disco.
Thanks, man.
You're ripping it, bro. Like you're pretty good at this stuff. Like, so how did you even? Maybe you can just rewind a little bit. Like, you're in Australia.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously everybody in Australia surfs, right? Pretty much though, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
like you go to grade school and you go to surf school, right? It's like
exactly. Everyone surfs here for sure. I'm from CRONULLA. It's everybody definitely surfs here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, it's like I guess you guys are on the opposite end of the time span right now. You're going into fall. We're going into spring, right? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are the waves like right now? When's the optimal season for you guys?
It's pretty good all year round where I'm from. The winter gets really, really good. Last winter was crazy. There was like times where there was 2 or 3 weeks of just perfect waves, and there's good beach breaks here, good reef breaks. We got pretty much everything here in Cronulla.
So yeah. you're growing up. Okay, so you grew up in the heart of Sydney, yeah, and you basically had your pick of all those great beaches down there, right? You have a favorite one that you like?
Yeah, there's a break called Suck Rock in my local town, which is like a reef slab kind of thing, and that's my favorite wave for sure. Everybody knows I love that wave.
Is it a peak? Is it a right, a left? What is it?
It's a right and a left. Mainly people go right, but the left is what I usually surf, which is
goofy foot. You're goofy
foot, and it's just like a backdooring peak kind of thing. It's in the background right now.
Yeah, if you go on Slippery Surfer's page, you can see all the errors and stuff. I mean, obviously you're good. So tell us, how did you get to be so good? I mean, did you compete? Did you tell us how you got to where you're at?
My dad taught me at a fairly young age, and also I've had like a history of competing and stuff in the junior series, WQS, former Billabong sponsored surfer and stuff like that. So I was kind of
just for shits and giggles, WQS is the World Qualifying Series for the World Tour, right? Basically.
Yep. So I did a few of them and was a sponsored surfer and was was getting okay money and stuff like that. But then I broke my back.
Oh, yeah. Tell what happened with that. How did you do that?
Yeah, I jumped off this cliff into water, like a big rock jump,
Mm.
and compressed my back and just fractured it.
Were you able to walk and stuff? Did you have to rehab that whole thing and everything?
Yeah, I could walk and stuff like that. I was in crazy pain. And then I kept competing for a few more years with the back pain, but never realized how bad it really was until I got like a second set of x-rays where the doctor pointed out, hey, your back's fractured. Like,
Brutal.
yeah. So that led me to writing raps and stuff like that too. So
you're recovering and you just, I don't know, you're angry at the world and you start writing raps and stuff, or how were you just like kind of a joker as a kid? Like how did you get into that?
Yeah, bit of everything, you know what I mean? Boredom and also just an outlet to create. I love creating stuff, whether it's vlogs or music videos or writing. My brother was a singer in a band. My mum was a singer. So it's a little bit in the family as well to be a vocalist, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just started to write a few raps and when I was on the couch and injured and yeah, man, that's how it started. And because I was a surfer, I knew I was never going to be a Kendrick Lamar or, you know what I mean, a J. Cole or whatever. I knew I'm an Aussie suburban kid that surfs, so I'm going to rap about what I am and what I do and what I'm surrounded by to keep it as real as possible, you know, and also creating my own kind of lane and wave at the same time.
No, that's cool. We'll talk a little bit more about the specifics of some of your key raps, man, in a second. But before we get there, and I want to talk a little bit about, you know, how is it that when you hurt your back, like, do you just basically say, okay, I'm never surfing again? Like, what's the mentality? Like, how do you kind of evolve from that really radical accident to getting to be, you know, you're back to doing, you know, stuff like stand-up paddle and obviously you're still surfing, not at a competitive caliber, but you know, you're back at it. I mean, that's a fucking long journey, bro. How do you mentally, physically, how do you get to that back into it?
Yeah, it was definitely for a fair few years competing and stuff, and knowing I was always in pain was definitely would get me super down in life. But I do things like Pilates and yoga, and now I go to the gym. So I was always trying to keep my body as good as possible, but it just after a while I just knew I can't keep up, you know, with the pain and competing and traveling and all that, because it's a lot of wear and tear on your body. And yeah, man, that's when I went and got a job basically and left.
I mean, like you're probably like the fourth or fifth guy that I know that's racked his back completely and then went to Pilates and then had this remarkable recovery. And, you know, there's something to be said for that. But that being said, let's, you know, talk about, you mentioned the tour and just kind of like what a grind that is. Like I watched, you know, like some of the, you know, Machado stuff on Netflix. They talk about, you know, just what a competitive, you know, cutthroat sort of grind, you know, the higher level is. But I mean, I'm sure the qualifying series is as well. I mean, sponsors and retaining people and the interest level. Like, how do you even manage that nowadays? I mean, it's a lot different than, let's say, the 80s or even the 90s. Now it's a whole different type of like survivor environment. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think now I'm not really sure exactly what's going on now, but to me it seems like it's harder now because of the sponsors and stuff like that. Well, we were pretty lucky in the time we were growing up. We had like 8 or 9 sponsors, you know what I mean? We didn't need much money off each one of them to make it happen. And it seems like it seems harder now. The surfing's better, but it's harder to create a lifestyle out of it. That's why you see all these surfers doing vlogs or doing something. You can't just be a surfer almost anymore. You got to have a bit of a package, you know?
Yeah. So, and I you know, I really kind of like the trend, to be honest with you, of like, you know, well, hey, I didn't make it in the series or the tour or whatever, so I'm just going to kind of go my own way. There are a couple early pioneers doing that stuff, but that seems like it's split now. Like, people kind of like, whatever, you know, if I don't have to compete, I can still, you know, make movies. I can still rep brands. I can still do a lot of really cool stuff and actually carve out a living, maybe go travel and surf, other places and stuff like that. I think that's one of the really coolest things that's kind of evolved out of this whole, competition stuff.
For sure.
So anyways, so aside from the tour, like once you hurt your back and you kind of were, getting a real job and all that stuff, I noticed that you evolved more back towards like, you're still in your roots, right? But you're doing like your own gig, right? You're teaching stand-up paddle, or you were doing a wave school here in San Clemente in California for a little bit.
In Texas, actually.
Where?
I was in Texas in the wave pool. Yeah.
Oh, no way. Whereabouts was that?
Waco.
Oh, that Waco pool. Oh, right on.
Yeah.
So you were
on a tour through America.
That's what's that called? I forget what, bar cable or something like that.
BSR cable. Yeah.
I've always wanted to check that place out. Is it as cool as it looks, or what do you make of it?
Man, it's so sick. Like, just turning up to that place is just craziest vibe ever. Like, as soon as you walk through and the machine turns on and all the noise comes on and the wave just appears, and it's just like, and I was there for a stab event, checking it out. So I was pulling up and just watching the best pros ever just, get these crazy wedge lefts and just doing huge airs, and the best aerial guys in the world. So when I pulled up there, I was like blown away, man. Like, what the future holds for this kind of stuff. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah. And, like Kelly's, pool too. I mean, it's a kind of a different deal. It's more of a long, wave that lets you, have different types of sections. But the Waco pool seemed like you could be the guy on the board in the back going, I think we're going to do a backwash today. Boop, 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 boop. And it would just do it, right?
Yeah.
Is that what oh my God.
It kind of feels like that. It feels like that. They'll be on the microphone. They were playing our songs and stuff while we're surfing. So they were legends.
Nice.
The guys at BSI were legends. So shout out to them. But it seemed like that. They're like, we're sending you a wedge, slippery, pressing the button and giving me a wedge. And I couldn't hear them. So I'd be on this wave waiting for the little barrel. And then suddenly it would wedge up. I was just like, fuck. It's crazy, man.
I mean, the fact that we're like at this point in our life and in society now where we're at a wave pool and the guy on the board can go, oh, I think the intermediate folks are in. Let's do. And like, they go out and they strop it up and okay, it's time for the advanced guys. Beep, boop, boop, boop. Can you imagine that just blows my mind. If you think about all those wasted days checking out the surf, making sure, the wind conditions or temperature, whatever, all this stuff, right? Just sitting around waiting. And now you can just be like, boom, let's go.
100%. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I love wave pools. They're so fun. Get your vibe back, to surf for sure.
So you eventually, if I can transition now, you eventually kind of made your way into teaching surfing, right? So we actually have a common acquaintance, Josh Baxter, here at the Volcom surfing school here in San Clemente, right?
Yeah, man.
So how tell us about that? Like, did you already know him? Did you just say, hey, I want to start teaching, and he hired you? Like, what's the background there?
I didn't know him at all, and my friend is a longboarder, and he knows Josh really well. And I wanted to get a job in America. I always wanted to live in America. So he was like, hey, my friend owns a surf school. His name's Josh. You'll get along with him perfect. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. And I was just traveling and stuff. I'm like, I'll work wherever. And then, I connected with him, I think on an email or something, said I was coming. And he's like, yeah, for sure. We need someone to help us at the surf school teaching. I'd never taught surfing or anything like that. And then, he picked me up from the airport, I remember. And I was just like, oh, this guy's a legend. You know what I mean? And I ended up staying for like 3 months helping him at his surf school. And he pretty much taught me or introduced me to teaching surfing basically and looking at it you know, from a business point where like, oh, I can do this for a living. Sick. But yeah, I had some awesome times with him, man. It was like, and then like I found out how, you know, how much of he's a legend in surfing, and then seeing him longboard, and he's just, you know, he's amazing, world class.
Well, so you know, it's funny. I grew up here in San Clemente, and when you know I hear Josh and legend in the same sentence, I don't, you know, it doesn't occur to me because we've seen him out there so much and so often. He's just really good. He shrouds, you know. But I can totally see your perspective. And you know, it's funny here in town, man. We have so many people that are good and stuff. I'm stoked that you made your way here. And where was the school? Where did you guys teach the kids and stuff mostly? Which beach?
San Andreas.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I ended up coming back like the next season, or maybe the season after that, and doing it again. That's how I loved it. It was sick.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about, you know, he's on the longboard side. You know, Colin McPhillips is from around here. All these guys are, you know, from around this place. It's crazy how.
Yeah, Colin was working there as well, teaching surfing at the time. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
he really
like the shred. And those guys would ride those longboards like they were shortboards. You know, they were so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so tell me a little bit now about your school. So you took essentially the same school concept. You went back to Sydney, and you started doing a SUP school, or sort of kind of this catch-all. You know, everything from ding repair to, you know, privates to groups and SUP and all this. Really, you know, obviously you're in the heart of, you know, of wave riding in Sydney, right? So what did you do there?
What happened was I came back to Australia, and my friend Blake Johnson, he owns the surf school here, similar to like Josh. He's a local legend around here, and he gave me a job. So I ended up working for him for months, maybe even a year or two. And I wanted my own surf school, and there was no surf schools available all up and down the coast. You know what I mean?
Are you kidding? Really?
Yeah, everyone owned one already. It was so popular.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I misunderstood.
It was at the peak of like surf schools where everybody wanted to leave their job and own a surf school. You know what I mean? I had a real job in between this too, but yeah. So, and I couldn't find a school or a vacant beach where I could start my own surf school. And my friend kept telling me, the same guy that hooked me up with Josh Baxter, he kept telling me, he's like, dude, do a paddleboard school. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do a paddleboard school. That sounds whack. Like, I don't even ride a paddleboard. And he's like, you should try it. It'll be really good for your back. You know what I mean? For your injuries will be really good. And I was just like, nah, man, I'm not into it. And then he moved away to Noosa. And then there was one like kind of paddleboard school up there. It was the only paddleboard school in Australia, but it was kind of like a bit of a cowboy kind of school. There was no like, I think he didn't know, I don't know if he had council regulations, and it was, you know, it was a bit like that. And it was way before it was even popular. And he was like, hey, this paddleboard school's for sale in Noosa. You should come up and buy it. Like, live up here. It's warmer, you know what I mean? He's one of my best friends. And I was just like, yeah, I'll come and check it out. So me and my dad end up flying up to Noosa just to check out this business. And yeah, we're just like, it's a bit dodgy, you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to buy it. Like, but how awesome is this? As soon as I got onto the paddleboard, I just looked at my old man. It was the first time I'd even tried a paddleboard. I only was checking out the school because I could do a surf school myself. And as soon as I stood on the paddleboard and had a few strokes, I was just like, looked at my dad and I was just like, damn, this is pretty cool, eh? And he's like, this is awesome, man. And then we did a class with this guy, and then we went back to Sydney. He's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, you know, stuff behind that school. Let's start our own school here, because I reckon this is awesome. And it's so, you know, my back's feeling really good and all that. So I just started my own paddleboard school in Cronulla, and that ended up eventuating to like sales and, you know, ding repairs, all that. Now it's like just a full-on specialized paddleboard shop. I still teach some surfing classes for my friends sometimes. But mainly it's just gone to paddleboarding now, just because it's a bit of a niche here and an avenue where I could make a living out of, because the surf schools were so busy and filled up basically. But I love it, man. It's sick.
That's awesome. Just right up the road, obviously, this, right up the road here from San Clemente is Dana Point, and the harbor is a really big area for SUP, stand-up paddle. We get a lot of people that come to us actually because there's so many people, and they have a couple of, paddleboard clubs there and stuff like that. And they compete, and they've got these 14-footer racers and stuff. And those guys are just kicking ass, man. Like they go flying. Like I had the Costco special, with the little stripe down the middle. And I'm just like sitting there going, oh, wow, these fuckers are fast, man. And they're just like, whoosh, whoosh, anyways, it's an impressive sport. Everybody who does it is in great shape,
Yeah, man, it's good for your body, man. I love it. It's really good. Something I've found in my life. It kept me in the water in a stage as well where I was sick of surfing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really was sick of surfing, and it actually just kept me in the water, kept my balance good, kept my fitness up. And then eventually I wanted to surf again, and I kind of didn't lose as much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I got to say, man, I'm stoked that you stuck with it because, like I said, I was just cruising your Instagram, and, I see you catching air with that green board you got in the back there, man. You're like catching airs and stuff still and just doing all your fun. Yeah, look at that thing.
We make these boards.
Say again?
We make these boards. These are Shred Gang boards.
Oh, you guys make that's the Shred Gang. I wasn't sure if that was, like an Al Merrick or whatever, bro, but that's really cool. Okay. Yeah. Look at that. Yep.
Yeah, they're fun, man. Yeah, it's been days are good here, dude.
Tell us a little bit about Shred Gang. Like, what are you doing for merch? And obviously you're making boards and.
Yeah, we've got the soft boards here. They come out of the same factory as Catch Surf and all the big brands, so they're really high quality. And also we've got the clothes, like stuff like this shirt here. I don't know if you can see that.
Shred Gang. Yeah.
Hats, we got the whole clothing thing. This is a Shred Gang chain as well.
yo, you need your chain, bro. You need that's so dope.
It's fun, man. We make some serious boards, you know what I mean?
Dude, that's so fantastic. Hey, man, I was reading about how you came out to LA or something, and did you really get beefed by some other rappers about what you're doing? Let's transition into the rap stuff for a minute here, okay? So obviously it was checking out your Instagram, and what really caught my attention was this video actually of you talking or you rapping with Tommy Carroll in the background. And I was like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, is Tommy rapping? It blew my mind, right? I was sitting there just going, what the, wait, there's an G, quadruple thousand G right there. Like that dude is so old school. I was like, okay, this is really dope. And I was looking at it and I was like, okay. So as I'm scrolling through your Instagram, I go back down and it's like, did he go into rap? Do these guys know each other? And it turns out you just did like this, hey, I got a really good line for Tommy C. Bro, if you want to come in and do the rap. And is that what happened? Like, tell that whole story, bro.
Yeah, so I wrote this song actually a while ago, and I've had it sitting there, and I've been wanting to release it. And I sent Tommy a snippet like a long time ago, like maybe a year ago. And he's like, yeah, cool, whatever. He wrote back the first time, which was cool. And then when I finally finished the song properly, I just posted out on Instagram and I just said, I got this cool track where I referenced Tommy, and it'd be dope to get him in the music video if everybody wants to tag him. Let's get him on it. And people were just like tagging Tommy, just like bang. And then I hit him up on Instagram, like, you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, for sure, man, I'm keen. He's like, and I sent him like the song link as well at the same time. as the message, like the completed song. So he's like, oh, dope, I listened to it, I like it. He's like, yeah, for sure, what do you need? So, and I just drove over to Avalon, organized it with him one day and just drove over to Avalon with my cameraman and just nailed it.
In the barrel, flip a brick in the barrel, put your chick in the barrel. She call me Tom Carroll, stealth, black, gaff, pull up at your beach with the wax. Cook's all salty cause I made a surf rap. Got it from the beach, took it to the trap. Got that loot, might grab mute. 18 carat fins, zebra wetsuit. Board shorts cute and a boost like Bruce. Al Merrick said that my towel too loose. Trapping in the barrel, flip a brick in the barrel, put your chick in the barrel. She call me Tom Carroll, trapping in the barrel, flip a brick in the barrel, put your chick in the barrel. She call me Tom Carroll, Tommy.
That's it. Gave him a shirt and drove home.
I mean, Tommy is so cool. I mean, he's so cool to begin with, but then to have him be doing that video with you, oh my God, man, it made me really stoked, really happy to see that whole thing. It's hilarious too. I mean, the little outtake, we'll play it. The outtake of Tommy like doing the raw thing, like, hey mate, I got this, I got these lyrics.
Yeah.
And he's just reading what you sing really well, but he's doing it as a non-rapper, and it's so funny, man. It's great stuff.
Oh, Slip. Where are you, slippery sucker?
Tommy Carroll. SOT TC, OG, triple OG.
Hey, Slip. Yeah. I just cooked up this beach, Slip.
Oh, really, Tommy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And guess what? I already got the hook, too.
Let's hear it, Shreddy.
Trapping in the barrel. Flip a brick in the barrel. Got your chick in the barrel. She called me Tommy Carroll.
Ooh, that hook's hard, Tommy.
Get over here now and drop some surf raps.
I'm on my way, Shreddy. Let's get it.
But man,
Yeah,
that was so good on you, bro. That was so funny, and I just laughed my ass off. And it was a great, good tune too, and lyrics were on point. Like I said, if you're a surfer and you hear this music, you go, "This is golden." Like your song about the boogie board, like that.
Yeah.
That one. Tell us a little bit about that. You said it's about your producer or whatever, right?
No, it's not about the producer, but he is a boogie boarder. I should say bodyboarder, but it's not. That was
you and I are from the old school. It's still called the boogie board, right?
Yeah. But it's not about him. But at the time, it was funny because I was beefing with like another guy who was a surf rapper, but he was actually a boogie boarder. So we had a falling out and we had a fight, and then we were having a little bit of a beef, and then that was my response. You know what I mean? It's the boogie board,
bro.
Boogie board. I got to check it out. Yeah, that's a banging track for sure. That one, and my producer thought it was funny because he is a bodyboarder, and he knew I was just like, I don't really care what somebody rides. You know what I mean? If they want to ride that. In my hometown, all the bodyboarders rule this place because there's big slabs and big waves and stuff like that. So I got 100% respect for them, but he thought it was funny because it was like the old school boogie board versus surfer kind of thing.
No, I get that. And, if you grew up around the ocean, like you and me, man, like you do everything, right? And it's all predicated on how big the waves are, right? If it's good, you're going to surf. If it's like you said, walling out, maybe you'll grab a boogie board, a body board, or just fins.
I'll never ride a boogie board, but I just got nothing against them.
That's I mean, but the point is like, or if it's flat, or you go stand up paddle or fishing or take a kayak out or whatever. I mean, it's all about being a water person and waterman. But man, that's so good. It's so good to hear those things. But hey man, listen, it was really good to talk to you. I'd love to have you back on. Maybe we'll chat when you drop your next song. You want to give everybody kind of an elevator on what you're doing or the latest tracks, where they can find you and stuff like that?
Yeah. So what's up? Slippery Surfer, best surf rapper alive, Shred Gang. You can find me at YouTube, Slippery Surfer, Instagram, Slippery Surfer, SoundCloud, Slippery Surfer everything. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Much love from Australia, Sydney, Cronulla. Let's get it.
Get it. All right, brother. Take care and have a great evening.
Stay wavy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
You.
All right.
That was great, man. It's good stuff. Yep, it's perfect.